trash in the game. The Mandalorian is great in the new series, and let's check out what's new in the world of pop culture with your hosts John, Tim, and Quentin, and a podcast we call Rewind
and Reload.
Alright, welcome to Rewind and Reload. I'm John.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Quentin.
Alright, so this podcast is going to cover a lot of things pop culture, different topics every week. I know I'm excited to do some comic-related stuff, maybe some comic-related movies too. Tim, Q, what are you guys maybe excited to do?
I like a lot of video games. I like video games and I like music, but more so I like more of like the history of the topics. So that's probably what I'm gonna focus on more for us. You know, I'll give us a little backstory on most of the things we'll talk about.
My big thing is like weird, obscure, weird history. I think I said weird 3 times, but that's fine. That's all right.
That's not enough weirds. I think you need some.
Yeah, no, it's like weird cubed. I'm really into that. So if I can find really just out there things about topics we cover, that's where I'm going to shine. I think that and just making really shitty jokes that won't land.
That's great. All right. Well, we'll just kind of start up real quick. Like, what stuff have you guys been doing this week? Like, kind of pop culture or stuff that you guys like not even like pop culture, just like something interesting you guys, did this week or something. I figure we could do this every week, maybe catch up a little bit between us before we talk about topics with other people.
Hell yeah. I played the new Modern Warfare beta. I don't even like Call of Duty, but
I heard it was great though.
That game's really good, and I don't want to admit that on a recording, but I'll say it. The new Call of Duty game looks like it might be worth it. Played a little bit of Hearthstone as well. The classics. I only play games that are well established and super old, I guess.
Nothing wrong with that. Tim, you got anything?
I binge watched all of the second to most recent season of American Horror Story on Netflix. Because I'm a basic white girl.
Just trying to get in the spirit of Halloween.
Trying to get in the spooky season.
Ayo.
With the spookiest show
Tim
known to white girl kind.
Well, I've just been catching up on the Arrow and the CW shows, actually, because they're about to kick back on. I know they're kind of overplayed, all of them, but I kind of started at the beginning. And
wait,
they're starting to finish.
How can 7 seasons of 30 episodes apiece be overplayed?
I know, right? I really agree. Actually, you know what? Like, I'm still, like, in the Supernatural fandom. I'm going to be honest with you. And I don't know why. I don't know how. But 15 seasons of, like, fucking 23 episodes every week has been a lot. And I think that's mostly why I just want to finish out the series, is because I'm in it this far.
I mean, like, that's not really as bad as some anime fans. Like, you got people watching 1,000 episodes of One Piece just to get halfway through, not even probably halfway through the story.
That is a fair point.
I mean,
One Piece is probably better.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
I was gonna say, when I watched the first 2 seasons of Arrow on Netflix, and I was like, this isn't gonna get a place where I'm gonna like it. So I'm just not gonna watch 100 more episodes of the show.
You know, Arrow got good just recently. It definitely had a really dry middle ground, which I think every CW show has had.
Yeah.
It's on its last season, and I think it'll be a good kind of like last hurrah. But
they were just waiting until the very end to make it good.
Yeah, I mean, there's rumors that he's gonna like die and shit. So
I thought you were gonna say there were rumors that he's gonna grow the mustache.
Well, I don't know. He didn't have it in the preview, but I mean, if he does it, that'd be great.
I wouldn't watch it, but I'd be on board for it just to see him, like the classic Green Arrow design on this brooding 20-something-year-old.
I always wish they would have done a Halloween episode where they did like costumes and he like donned the original like Robin Hood-esque costume that they did.
Yeah.
I think that would have been just a hilarious little thing.
Well,
kind of like how it was really hilarious when Gorilla Grodd went back in time to kidnap Barack Obama.
wait.
What?
That happened in The Flash, didn't it?
I'm not really caught up with The Flash. I'm just caught up with the Arrow and Supernatural right now.
I'm 90% sure there's a scene in The Flash where Gorilla Grodd goes back in time and, like, kidnaps young Barack Obama.
That sounds like maybe a Legends of Tomorrow thing, but
I think you're right. I think it is Legends of Tomorrow where that happens. Yeah. But yeah, that's something that happens.
But yeah, that's crazy, and now I need to watch that episode.
I'm shocked right now. I'm quite flabbergasted.
Yeah, it's something, all right.
I mean, that's almost as good as when Supernatural did the Scooby-Doo crossover, really.
I didn't know that was a real thing either, and that just
Oh,
makes
it
me
is.
upset.
Just now.
But it's cool because they go into the cartoon world. They don't have Shaggy, Scooby, and the gang come to the real world.
They have like Matthew Lillard as Shaggy.
Yeah.
From the
no.
movies.
God no. He's the only one that can defeat Thanos, though.
The atrocious CG Scooby-Doo.
That Scooby-Doo looked just like a real dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I mean, I agree, but it's whatever.
I'm not disagreeing.
But anyways, I mean, that was a weird tangent, and I apologize. But you guys got anything else you kind of got?
No, I think that
Off the top of my head.
was really all the cool stuff I did this week. Everything else is just like boring. Rode my skateboard, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I went to the gym because I'm a weirdo, but that's about it. So, well, I guess we could jump in to our main topic. The title's going to be weird. I think. I don't think a lot of people are going to get what the main topic's actually about, and I'm kind of just dragging this out just to build suspense. But we're going to talk about Minecraft today and the huge resurgence of it. I know that's a weird first episode to do for pop culture, but I've been playing it probably the past 2.5 weeks with a couple friends from work, my brother-in-law, and he's younger, so. And kind of getting back into it because I have not played it probably in 2 years. So I know, Quentin, you did a lot of backstory on it. I don't know if we want to jump into backstory first or maybe some of the new things. I mean, what do you guys think?
I'll give us a little rundown. Give the people some of the old, and then we'll throw some of the new at them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, and I also like at some point. I would like to go over like your guys' thoughts when you guys first played it, and maybe your thoughts on it now. But you give us some backstory on it first.
Okay, so the year was 2009. Marcus Notch Person was a weirdo that nobody knew, making games
that nobody knew,
and he came out of nowhere and he's like, hey, you know, I'm working on this thing. It's not finished yet, but I'm going to release it on the internet, and I'm still going to charge money for it. Which, back in 2009, this was not a thing. People, like, weren't doing this.
Telling me there wasn't a giant early access market on Steam like there is today?
Not
where
back
you pay
then.
$50 for the promise that a game will come out eventually.
Maybe.
And sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, no, he was really one of the first people, or well, one of the first successful people to do this. And what we got out of that was original Minecraft. I believe back then it was like a $10 purchase, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's correct. It's 20 now.
I'm gonna be honest, it still sounds kind of expensive.
For what it was in the alpha stage, absolutely.
For what it came out to be at first, I honestly probably wouldn't have paid for that game, honestly.
Here's a fun fact. I didn't.
Well, I didn't either. I played with other friends before I really got hooked on it, honestly.
My first copy of Minecraft was pirated in the beta version.
Oh.
And then years later, I paid for it 3 times now.
What? Why?
How did you end up doing it 3 times?
I've bought it on PC, I've bought it on PlayStation 3, and I've bought it on PlayStation 4.
Ah, gotcha.
All right,
Minecraft.
that's fair.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, I guess.
It is something like that.
It is something. 2011, though, we saw the full launch of the game. And then in 2014, the game was sold to Microsoft for a measly $2.5 billion, making Marcus one of the youngest billionaires. I believe probably the youngest billionaire ever.
Do you know how old he was at the time?
No, I don't. I know he's 40 right now, so he was like 35.
Yeah, all right.
Did you know that business deal only happened because he made a post on Twitter?
Yeah, he basically just like made some tweet that said like, "Yeah, I'm done with this. Like, I don't want to do this anymore or whatever." Right? Something like that.
Yeah, he was like, He's like, I'm done with the project on my end, more or less, and he wanted to do right by Mojang, the original company. And I think it's still the company, technically. They're under Microsoft's umbrella now. But he was basically like, he wanted to do the right thing by everyone there, and he didn't want to just back out financially and have them die, pretty much. So they, Microsoft reached out and they paid, a small sum for the game and the intellectual property to go with it.
The best part about that, though, is you said he wanted to do the people, Mojang, I think is pronounced, in the native Sweden. He wanted to do them right, but at the end of it, everybody fucking hated him because he gave them, like, just fucking, like, nothing money-wise. Like, he gave everybody, like, a really, really small bonus, and they're like, you got $2.5 million. And there was only, like...
I thought you said billion.
Oh, billion, I'm sorry.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
And, like, I'm pretty sure at the time Mojang was still a very small group of people, if I'm not mistaken, only like 14. I think you're right. 14.
It's worth mentioning that that $2.5 million was just for his majority shareholder of the company.
Oh my god.
Not the whole company.
Yeah, so it's like he ended up still screwing everyone. Not everyone, but in the end, they ended up not really liking him anymore, which is funny.
I mean, could you blame them, though? I mean, you get that much money.
Oh, no.
And then you can't even give anything?
Yeah, I think like everybody got like a $5,000 bonus or something like that.
Oh, alright.
Nice.
Which, in the grand scheme of $2.5 billion, that's nothing.
Yeah, that's a little selfish. I mean, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably doing better now, so.
Probably, but...
I would hope. Especially with this new, like, resurgence, like, I feel like they're probably... I hope Microsoft's taking care of them.
I don't really know.
Apparently,
too much.
the full $2.5 billion didn't go to him, according to his Wikipedia page, which is my source for this episode, more or less. The deal with Microsoft to sell Mojang for $2.5 billion, this brought his net worth to $1.5 billion.
Oh, okay.
So $1 billion of that at least went to the company, it sounds like. But he still came out of it a billionaire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that billion, depending on how big that company was, I mean, that probably was some of their shares. Like, that probably went into those $5,000 bonuses and shit, like, if anything, to where, I don't know. Anyways, go on, Quentin.
My last little fun tidbit about him. After he got all this money from Microsoft, you know what he did? He outbid Beyonce and Jay-Z on a house in Beverly Hills for the small price tag of $70 million. It is reportedly the most money ever paid for a house in Beverly Hills.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
And to think
that's
this
expensive.
all, this all came from just a fucking simple. Didn't the game originally come out? It was like a Java game, right?
Yeah.
It still runs
like,
on Java.
Just a simple Java game gives you a $70 million house.
Yeah, like a simple personal programming game project that
That's
evolved
insane.
into this $1 billion game that was bought by Microsoft.
I mean, that's crazy because like there's games out there that like are made by like college grad, like not college grads, but like people in college right now as like projects that look better and like play really well compared to this game, and it's just crazy.
Well, to be fair, game design now is a lot simpler than it was whenever you started the project.
Yeah, you said like
I want
7 or something.
I honestly would assume he started
the first release was 09.
Yeah, I'd assume he started in 09 too, because he's one of those dudes who does like a lot of like game jam challenges and like loot 'em dares, which the whole point of those is to create a game in a specific amount of time, and then it gets judged by a panel or whatever.
Yeah, like nowadays
okay.
we have things like Unity and really. Like for RPGs and stuff, I guess you have things like RPG Maker and Game Maker, which just really streamline the process of making a game, as opposed to coding this all in JavaScript in voxel blocks, which I'm pretty sure he did, all by hand originally, and it's wild.
Well, I guess that's impressive. Then.
I
can't say that that's not impressive.
I mean, I don't like the man, but what he did is impressive.
I guess I don't like have a strict reason not to like him.
Oh, you will. We'll talk about it.
I mean, yeah, do you guys want to keep going into him, or do you guys want to go into the game a little bit?
We'll go into the game a little bit because the stuff that happens that it's gonna make you not like him was more of a recent thing. So
okay.
we'll talk about that later on.
All right. Well, we've all played the game. Okay. I know that, like, in some aspect, whether we played it with, like, on somebody's console or PC or whatever, we've all played it, like, but I want to hear, like, what you guys thought of it at first, and what your thoughts are on it now. So, Tim, you want to start?
Yeah, I can start. I don't remember if I think I might have played a very early, like, version of the beta version of the game in, like, 2010. But, back then, it was nothing close to what it is now, where it's like a fully fleshed RPG almost, with building mechanics. It was more or less just build a dirt house, survive, try and build more of a house, and then, like, that was it. There wasn't, at the time I started, I don't think there were villages or near any of, like, procedurally generated stuff there is now. I think there was only, like, 2 biomes, maybe 3.
Now there's 13, I believe.
Yeah, there's some wild...
Maybe more, number. But I know the achievement that you can get is to discover 13 of them.
Yeah. It was just like, there was like grassland, there was desert, and there was maybe like the snow area, and it wasn't like the ice area like it is now.
Oh, okay.
It was just like snowy dirt. But I wasn't a huge fan of it when I first played it. I thought it was kind of boring. Like, there was interesting stuff there to build and make your world the way you saw this little world of yours, but it was also at the time a 1x1 square. Well, it was on PC, I guess it was procedurally generated as you left the squares. but it was just... It didn't feel nearly as expansive, because if once you started getting... I never encountered this, but there was, in the beta, there was a guy who was doing, for charity, I think, he would just continually keep walking in one direction to the point where the game just started... There was chunk errors loading, like, not loading every 2 feet. And I don't remember what exactly they called it. It was like the Far Lands or something like that, but he was doing he was doing it for charity for a while, and the game just broke down once you started getting, like, too far out. Because all of that stuff had to be saved in internal memory, and it just ran out of room to do it.
Yeah.
But, I guess I came around to the game over time as features started getting added, and it's not like something I play regularly these days, but it's something I'll pick up if I just want like a chill experience of walking around, exploring places, building a house, things like that.
I feel like I kind of had a pretty similar, like my thoughts first and now are kind of similar to yours. Just because the first time I played it was probably the summer of 2015, actually. And I know that's a while after it came out, but I really didn't have any interest in playing it at all. So I actually picked it up when I was out in Arizona on a job, a pipe fitting job. And me and one of the coworkers out there, we would just like get drunk and play it after work every day because we were out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Like, what else am I gonna do?
Yeah, no, and we would have South Park on the other TV. Like, we'd have 2 TVs up, and one had South Park or American Dad on, and we would have Minecraft on, and we would just sit there drinking beers all night. And it was fun in that aspect. And like, if I play it with friends, I liked it a lot, but like on my own, I got so immensely bored. I just ran out of stuff that I wanted to get done in the game. I didn't have any goals. And now, like, replaying it, I really enjoy it now because they've added so much that there's actual goals that you can set, and there's like actual things you can do different from like if I play it today, I can do different shit tomorrow, kind of thing, you know. But so now I'm coming around to it, but before I found it so boring. I don't know how you feel about it, Q, though.
I see. When I first got introduced to it, I don't remember when it was, what year it was.
Was it the time that I had it on my laptop in your parents' basement?
Probably. So that would have been around like
it would have been like 2012, 2013.
Yeah. Initially I was just like, okay, yeah, this is a cool game. You build Lego, fun, wee, you know. I probably wouldn't have dived too far into it, but at the time I was like, okay, this is a neat little thing. And nowadays, the game just blows my fucking mind.
It really does. It blows my mind of the immense things you can do.
Yeah,
like I'm learning new shit to do every day.
The more you learn about the game, the more you're like, what the fuck? Like, there's people creating like working hard drives.
Oh my god, yeah.
Computers inside of the game out of like redstone or something, which I don't.
Oh yeah, no, you use redstone, and actually my coworker, he's so good at this game, and he's been teaching me a lot of it over the last couple weeks, and he actually has an automated sugarcane farm that uses pistons that are hooked up to redstone, and it shoots the pistons. So as the sugar cane grows up, it just chops off the top half, so it just keeps growing. So he has this endless supply of sugar cane that he can turn into paper and can sell to all the villagers. It's crazy.
I remember, like, this isn't like a recent development. I'm not trying to be like belittle you guys. Like, no, it's super impressive what people are doing. But I remember in like 2013, someone made like a functioning calculator.
Oh no, yeah. Shit. I remember hearing about stuff like that too.
I mean, like, speaking as someone who went to school for computer science, it's not terribly hard to do make a calculator, but at the same time, in Minecraft, like,
yeah,
it's pretty
just like who
damn
thinks
impressive.
of doing things like that?
Just
You know?
people who are trying to flex.
yeah.
Really though, yeah.
I mean, that's basically what made the game so great, is that it's a sandbox and it's a game that you create, you know?
Yeah.
Which I love the game. I probably have the least hands-on with it out of the three of us, but I still have like a massive respect for this game. It's ridiculous.
I think people that don't just haven't spent enough time with it, honestly.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
because, like, a first look at it, like if you go into a GameStop or you're running through the store on your, on Steam or Xbox or PS4 or whatever, like you see the front cover and you're like, oh, that's for little babies, you know.
There's a baby game.
But,
I don't want to play
yeah.
a baby game.
But like, fuck, sometimes I can't make it through the first night without dying. Like, it's not a super easy game, like by any means. It looks very easy, but it's not. But, all right, so those are our thoughts on it then and now. Now I kind of want to talk about, like, where are the fucking bees? I know I did a little bit of research into it. Because that was the big new thing, was like, oh, Minecraft's getting bees and they're going to do this and do that. And they're going to help you pollinate your crops and everything like that. Well, I get on and I'm playing like the past, I think I played for a week and a half before I finally asked one of my friends. I was like, hey, what the fuck, where are the bees? And they explained to me that it's on the cross-platform version between console and PC and stuff. They're not on there yet. So I kind of looked it up, and it's locked onto Java Snapshot 19W34A version, which means fucking nothing to me, really.
The Snapshot versions are like the early access of Minecraft.
So I read into it a little bit more, and it made more sense. But right now, it's really just for the PC. So if you play it on PC and you're not playing the cross-platform version, you have the bees, and that's great. But you really can't. But you really can't play with your friends that have consoles, which kind of blows dick.
I mean, if you have a PC, why would you have friends with consoles, right?
Well, you're mean because I have a console. That's just rude. But so there's the bees. If anyone's thinking, like, where the fuck are these bees? There's where they're at. Go build a PC.
Go build a PC and you can find the bees.
Go drop a casual $1,000 on a PC and.
Well, no, I thought that was the other beautiful part about Minecraft, is you don't really need like too powerful of a system to play it, right?
No shit, you can play it on your phone now.
Yeah, a very like compressed version of the game. For some, like, I guess the base game, you really don't need like a super powerful 16 gigabytes of RAM, 2080 Ti graphics card. Maybe with the ray tracing now you do, but
I mean, but if you want just the base version and you're just
for the base version of the game,
I think it'd be fine.
You'll be fine
on whatever.
For some, like, I can speak from experience, some mod packs that are available. They're just a memory drain. They will just kill your memory.
Really?
If you don't, I have 8 gigs in my system, which is about half of what's suggested for like high-end gaming PCs. And usually I can run games just fine. But I tried to if I try and load like a Minecraft mod pack with a bunch of stuff in it, my computer just slugs. It's ridiculous.
Fair enough.
Alright, well, I got a couple other new things that were at least new to me when I started playing it again. There's the cats. I don't know if you guys seen the cats.
No, I didn't know there's cats in the game.
Yeah, so there's cats every fucking where now. So there's ocelots and there's cats. Before, apparently, I was kind of like prodding, one of my coworkers and friend that plays a little bit more often about the ocelots. I was like, hey, man, they're really cool because they're kind of like the cats, but they're longer and they're kind of like a tigery looking thing. I was like, I want one of those, not one of these stupid household cat looking things. And he's like, oh, you used to be just able to feed it, what's it called?
Fish.
Fish, raw salmon, whatever. And eventually it would turn into a cat. But now they actually have cats and they have ocelots, and you can't actually have an ocelot as a pet. You can befriend it so it won't run away from you, but it won't come to your house or follow you around like the dog or the cat will.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, and then the cats, they generally spawn in the Pillagers stuff. The next thing was Parrots. They have the new jungle, or not new, but it was there before, but they have the jungle biome. And I guess around the time they added the ocelots, they added parrots, and you can befriend them. You can get them into your house, which is pretty cool.
Huh.
And they kind of just sit there. They'll follow you around, so that's pretty dope.
I like that.
Yeah, it is. That I enjoyed that quite a bit.
But if you play music, they dance.
That's right. I
for
forgot
real?
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you have a music disc and you put in music, I think it's just called a music box. It just they start dancing, doing a little head bob dance.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
amazing.
I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, so if you want to get on and have a bird, they're all, and they come in a bunch of different colors too. You get blue, red. I think I saw a green one as well. Those are the ones I've seen so far. So they're pretty cool. The next thing is Pillagers.
Oh yeah, the raids.
They are like villagers, but they fucking attack you. I have yet to run into any of them, but Carly, my wife, when she was playing, definitely ran into them. She got attacked by them as soon as she loaded in.
Oh, I was going to say you have to ring the bell in the village usually, but
she loaded in right on their spawn point where they have
their little tower.
Yeah, they have their little tower thing. So she actually went. She ran away finally, built up her farm that she made, and then finally she went back and she just demolished all of the Pillagers. But now she's running into the ordeal that every time she finds a village, it spawns a raid. And she has Pillagers everywhere attacking.
Because you get that debuff put on you when you kill them. I forgot about that.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
So, and if you're wondering, randomly, if you hear that's the villager. If you hear herb, that's the Pillager, and you just better, if you don't have armor on, you should probably run, because they're actually kind of hard.
Yeah, they have, crossbows and shit.
Oh, yeah. But then, if you kill them, you can pick up their crossbows, which is pretty cool.
Are those the guys with the big noses?
Yeah, they have big noses, they're gray, and then the villagers are a tan
Squidward,
color.
almost.
Exactly. It's Squidward with a damn crossbow.
Okay.
So,
While you were studying the clarinet, I was studying the bow.
The next thing's the Wandering Trader. I don't really know how new this guy is, but the only reason I bring him up is because it has a really funny spawn rate.
69.
No, it's
Heyo.
It is not 69. It's probably not really that funny, but it's funny to me. It's a 48 block radius of the player, if you don't have one. But the funny part to me is that you can be, on your coordinate level, you can be down in the 13 of the mine, which is diamonds and shits and magma are crazy down there. And all of a sudden you'll just hear fucking llamas calling, and you'll start looking around, and there's a wandering trader with 2 llamas deep in your mine, and you have no idea how they got down there. And the only reason why they're down there is because they have to spawn within a 48 block radius of you. So that's the funny part to me.
Just a llama.
I don't know if it's true. They probably do have code to like limit them to only spawn in open space. But I would just love it if all of a sudden you just hear like the suffocating noise.
Well,
and then
the crazy thing is one of my mines has a waterfall coming down through it. And all of a sudden I heard something, and I looked up, and they're just falling down my waterfall and then smacked into lava and died. It was great. It was so bad and so funny. And you can't really trade anything with them, so they're really not... It's not that sad. But...
Yeah, I think they were added when the village got their big overhaul. Like when the raiders were added and stuff like that. And they started adding like different looks for villages based on the biome and things like that. I think that's when the Wandering Trader got added. I'm not certain, but it would make sense.
Yeah, I'm not seeing on anything when it got added, but that makes sense to me too. So the last thing I have is the Drowned. And the Drowned is very simple. It's an aquatic zombie.
An aquatic zombie that'll just throw spears at you from the water.
Tridents.
3 spears in one.
It's the worst. It's the trifecta of spears. They automatically spawn, but also a fun way that you can spawn them yourself if you want to is you can smack a zombie into the water, put some blocks on it over its head, and keep it under for, I believe, 10 seconds, and it will generate a... actually, it's 30 seconds, I'm sorry. And it will actually turn them into a drown.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of fun.
I didn't know that one. That's interesting.
Yeah, so you can spawn them yourself. Like, actually, one of my coworkers, he found a spawn point for zombies, and it was right by the river. So he created this intricate trap that would trap them, turn them into drown, and then kill them from there. And it would drop all their belongings into a chest. So he had a trident, farm almost. Like it was just farming for tridents. It was, when he was telling me about it, it was crazy.
The most valuable resource, tridents.
It's pretty cool because you can throw them and shit. But, okay. Anyways, so that's what I have for some newer stuff. And then, of course, you can always go and fight the Ender Dragon. That's always kind of been a pretty big thing. I've never done it. Me and my coworker talked about jumping in with a couple of our other friends that we play with on our realm and maybe doing it together, but we haven't really set up a time to do that. There's no way I'm going to do it on my own because I've heard it's really hard.
Just get yourself full diamond and a bow and you're fine.
All right, well, Tim, you go ahead and do it. You
I
can do
will.
Do a little Twitch
quickscope montage and...
stream while you're doing it. Be half naked, and
okay. Well,
I'll watch it and get all the tricks.
I'll just spit on my dog and
accidentally flash the camera a couple times.
Accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
I do squats for subs actually, so don't actually have a Twitch.
Actually, like if we get like 10 viewers on this, I will start an Instagram account, and the first picture will be Tim just doing squats and booty shorts. I'm going to call that out.
I'm good.
Nah, I'm fine.
Come on. All right, 100 listeners.
420.
All right, 420. I'm writing it down right now. If we ever get 420, we will have a video of Tim doing squats in booty shorts.
A booty reveal at 420.
Yes.
No one wants to see that.
Well, if we get 420 listeners, which I doubt we will ever fucking have, but cool. You'd have to do it at that point. That'd be crazy.
Just you wait and see.
Anywho, that's what I got. I don't really have too much else on the gameplay. I don't know if you guys have any more stuff to talk about. I know you said you have some stuff that's going to make me hate the guy.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I would love to hear that.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I'll get into that real quick. How about that?
Well, first of all, he looks like Humpty Dumpty.
You know, I don't really know if I know what he looks like.
Google a
Humpty
picture
Dumpty.
of him and you'll hate him. Just how he, I don't know. There's just something about the way he carries himself.
Is it the fedora? Is it the fedora you don't like?
I think it's that. I think it's just everything. Just everything. I hate what he is.
I mean, if he lost the fedora, he'd be better.
You say that, but you don't.
Anyways, why am I going to hate him? Because I don't want to defend him when I don't know why
see?
I should hate him, really.
Not too terribly long ago, he got his little fucking fingers on his keyboard and he got on Twitter.com. He's like, he made some tweets that could be construed as transphobic or homophobic.
All right, you done lost me right there. I'm not a fan.
There's also, he is a very big supporter of the right-wing conspiracy of QAnon. I'm
gonna be honest, I don't really know what that is. I'm not super savvy on these conspiracies and stuff.
Basically,
it's not something that I've been super into.
QAnon is basically an 8-chain conspiracy that says that Trump is working with the deep state, and that they're going to eventually release information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton and everyone else involved in, like, the Democratic conspiracy, quote-unquote.
Basically everyone involved in, if you remember what Pizzagate was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, He is a very strong supporter. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll go out there and I'll say he's a strong supporter because he's made multiple tweets about this.
I mean, if he's not a strong supporter, I mean, he can just, add us and fight. So
he's basically just like every man-child who gets like a bunch of money, like they don't know what to do with themselves, and they're fucking, I don't know, idiots.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like that's okay to an extent, but to say homophobic and transphobic things just because you have money, that's not cool. I mean, that's some Trump stuff right there. That's not.
Oh, also, his political party affiliation is the Pirate Party of Sweden.
So does he live in America, or does he live in Sweden?
He was born in Sweden, but he now lives in Beverly Hills.
Okay. And is he a U.S. citizen, or no?
I'm not too sure about that, honestly. I would assume
he
has
butt
some
buddies with Trump, so he's probably not going to get deported.
He's like, I like this young Swedish entrepreneur. He's a good fellow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he has dual citizenship or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Probably. I feel like when you have that much money, you have to.
The more you look into Notch himself, the worse it gets, which is why Microsoft about 6 months ago, I want to say, released or removed all of the references to him in the splash text of the game, like the loading screens and stuff like that. The only thing he's featured in is the credits. Other than that, Microsoft is trying to shoo themselves away from Notch as hard as they can.
Well,
Which, I mean, if he has these ideals, I mean, that's completely smart of them to do.
Oh, no, I completely agree with and I understand why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. I was just going to say, but they removed Notch's brother from the game back in, like, I don't remember what version number it was. You know, you guys know about that?
Oh,
I did not. But
when they removed Herobrine from the game.
Yeah. That was 2000.
It was like 2013, 2014. Maybe later.
I'm gonna say I want to say 14. They removed Herobrine.
I remember the creepypasta came from like 2012, 2013.
You know about this, John? You know about Herobrine?
no, I don't, and I'd like to know about it.
All right. Well, here's where Tim's fringe internet
dude.
history comes in.
Yeah, please, Tim.
Fringe internet knowledge comes in. Herobrine was a creepypasta from... I'm not sure.
I would say it started on the V board on 4chan.
Oh, absolutely, probably.
Or the X board. Probably X.
Probably. I'm trying to find some, like... Here we go. Oh, here's the creepypasta wiki. This is probably good. Oh, this is just the actual creepypasta. Fuck me. Anyway, it was basically someone's like, oh, I'm seeing this weird model of Steve, the default character in Minecraft, but he has like pure white eyes, and whenever he's around, like the leaves on trees will burn down, but the trees themselves will be left. And it was pretty much just them making up this story about how he's just messing with these players, this AI is. And the rumor for the longest time, and I say rumor very loosely because it was just part of the creepypasta, was that it was Notch's dead brother's soul in the game. But eventually Notch came out and he was like, I don't have ever had a brother. I've never had a brother, so like, no. And then the actual developer Mojang, however you want to pronounce it, caught on to this dumb little story and started putting in the patch notes for versions of the game that they'd removed Herobrine. And this went on for a very long time until I think they stopped doing it a couple years ago.
That is hilarious.
You can't forget the days of the YouTube videos where it's got the YouTuber with a scared face, and then the background it's like, I saw Herobrine, real video.
I wish I was more savvy on YouTube back in the day, honestly. I just recently started getting pretty into YouTube videos.
Oh, dude, YouTube is the greatest.
Before it was just, cat videos, Vine compilations, that stuff. But
okay, according to the wiki, he did originate from the 4chan V board, which is the video game discussion board.
Ayo.
And gained very little attention at the first time it was posted.
So they just kept trying.
Apparently. It was only later that Herobrine grew in popularity when the Brocraft streamer Copeland photoshopped Herobrine into several screenshots to show his chat. He had recently taken a liking to the story and wished to be part of it. So it's basically just an ARG that evolved and got out of hand.
That's awesome. Well, do you guys have anything else to say about Minecraft at the moment? I mean, I feel like we talked quite a bit about different aspects of the game. Any closing statements on that? And then there's a couple more things I want to talk about before we close this out. But any closing remarks on our topic of the day or week?
I wanted to make just a tiny little aside. It's not really related to the main game, but I was going to talk about how my theory of the Minecraft story mode game killed Telltale Games.
Oh yeah, go for it. I mean,
because
I'm down to
they
listen.
released So Telltale Games was like a story, like choice, like pretty much it was telling a story, but you got to make choices in it. And they made games like The Walking Dead and Tales from the Borderlands. They did an adaptation of the comic series Fables and with The Wolf Among Us. And they made pretty, I don't know how much money they made, but the games were all pretty widely well received until people started catching on that Telltale had been using the same engine for 5 years and hadn't updated anything, and all the same glitches were there, and all the same bugs that caused crashes were there. But I think it all came to a head when they started making Minecraft Story Mode, starring, Emmy. I don't know if he's actually Emmy Award winning, but the actor Patton Oswalt is the main character, and no one really liked the game. I don't think. Maybe like kids did. Maybe it obviously wasn't for the teenage and up audience. Maybe the younger teenage side of it. But the writing was just really, really predictable and cliche in some regards. There was a point where they just introduced like a village of Minecraft YouTubers that were canon in this game. And it's just weird stuff that it was reference humor and like just LOL XD so random humor. And it didn't really fly, I don't think, but eventually it got picked up by Netflix, and it's now on there as one of their interactable shows for kids. But
it's actually on there. Like if I go on Netflix right now, it's actually
at least season 2 is, I think.
Wow.
As of like 2 months ago, it was. But the reason I think it killed is because it killed the company, other than the poor managerial choices that were involved and have been well documented at this point. They ran a deal with Netflix and Microsoft to make season 2 of Minecraft Story Mode, and after that happened, all the other projects were axed.
Wow, they killed a whole genre of games almost.
Pretty much.
Wow.
And I don't know if it's because they just weren't making as much money as they thought they were, but the only game that was left in development after the company went under was Minecraft Story Mode Season 2. Really? Because they had a giant deal with Netflix and Microsoft to make that game.
That's really interesting. That's crazy how they just shut it all.
I tried before we started recording. I was trying to find sales figures for both seasons of the game, and I can't find them for the life of me. So I'm not sure how much it cost to make and how much they made. But
I feel like the ratios would definitely be off. Like I feel like it's probably kind of costly to make and not.
Especially considering it's free to play on Netflix now, pretty much. You can pay for it on console stores, but
yeah, but why would you if it's just?
But why would you when it's just you can just play it on the price of your Netflix subscription for the month?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, just check that out later, or not because it doesn't really sound that much fun. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe in the name of the podcast. So, all right, you got any closing things, Q, that you got?
My only closing remarks are that if you ever make $2.5 million off of a video game, it's okay to buy a giant mansion with a candy room, but if you have crazy political thoughts, keep them to yourself.
Yeah, a candy room and Louis Vuitton fire extinguisher things.
Yes.
Yes, I completely agree with you, Q. Yeah, buy a huge mansion, buy an expensive car or something. I think I saw in the video you sent us earlier of his house that he has a replica motorcycle of the one James Dean had.
Yes,
that
actually came with the house.
Yeah,
yeah.
That house came fully furnished.
It's not like he's super into James Dean; it just came like that.
Yeah,
we're almost certain.
But I mean,
it's cool.
Go do stuff like that. Don't have crazy political views. And like you said, if you do, keep them to yourself.
Don't say that Pizzagate has some the realm of reason. I guess I don't know. I'm not sure how the actual.
Don't give any validity to Pizzagate or these weird alt-right conspiracies.
And don't be homophobic or, transgender phobic. That's a big thing there. That kind of put me off from them right away as soon as you said that. So, but all right. Well, I think that wraps up our main topic. Do you guys have any recommendations for people to try out? Whether it's games, comics, movies, TV shows, whatever. What are you guys? You guys got anything?
I can give a quick one. It's actually one of the games that inspired Minecraft a little, so it's relevant. Dwarf Fortress is a game that has a very steep learning curve, but it's very rewarding, I think, once you get used to the kind of cryptic controls that kind of just throw you into the deep end. It's like a colony management / like colony builder game where it really does feel like you're holding the hands of 10 to 50 drunk babies as they try and form society.
If you don't want to fully go and play this game, another really good way to experience it is watch YouTube videos of like somebody who knows everything about Dwarf Fortress and someone who knows nothing about it. And like it's videos of the person who knows everything trying to explain how to play the game to the person who knows nothing about the game.
That just sounds like fun. I mean, we could probably do a video like that at some point. Because Tim sounds like he knows how to play it. I
know enough to survive for at least 2 years. My recent obsession in the game has been trying to have forts built into the side of volcanoes, and it never works for me. Because there's almost never sources of fresh water near a volcano. So, you gotta learn the intricacies of this game.
Gotcha. Alright. Q, you got any recommendations? Just anything?
Yeah, I'll give you a random podcast. It's called Duncan Trussell Family Hour. It's been one of my favorite ones of like probably the past month or two. It's all about. It has a lot of comedian guests, but it covers a lot of like really cool topics, like really kind of like a lot of hippie stuff, which I'm into. But it gives you like a funny take on things as well. Some of the better episodes, like my favorite one, for example, would be he did one with this guy named Shane Moss, who is a comedian / psychedelic advocate, and the stuff they talk about is just absolutely hilarious. Like just some of the shit they get into. Probably my favorite podcast I've ever listened to. I'll go as far to say that.
Gotcha. I'm actually going to also plug a podcast. The reason for it is it's called Stuff You Should Know. My wife got me super into it, and the other day actually we were listening to it, and they did a whole episode on Lyme disease, and Carly actually has Lyme disease, and it was really, really interesting and really educational, but also fun. They have a really good balance of getting you to learn things that you probably wouldn't learn about, like, otherwise, but also making it fun, cracking jokes, and kind of like what we're gonna try to do here, but for pop, like we do the pop culture stuff, and they do, more smarter things.
Edutainment.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I got. So if you guys got any plugs or anything too, I know you guys probably got a couple.
Yeah.
At least.
First plug is actually a plug for Tim and I. We both do another podcast called The Backdash. That is a week in review entertainment podcast where we just talk about what happened throughout the week in the video game / entertainment world with our other friend Alex. That usually gets uploaded like every Monday or Tuesday.
Feels usually Monday, but it really depends on if Alex works this on weekends enough to edit or not.
But yeah, you can check that out on any streaming service that.
I think we're on pretty much all the big ones now.
And I do want to say, like, not being on the podcast, like, it is an interesting listen. It's almost kind of like just a couple dudes hanging out and talking about stuff they enjoy. It's really interesting.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool to put on. It's nice to put on in the car when you're like driving around and stuff.
If you
it's
ever,
nice to put on in the car until you get to my outro for one of the episodes where it's Big Joe screaming about Quaaludes.
that was a classic.
Just keep the windows rolled up on that.
Yeah. Or when we talk about Piss Window.
Or our ongoing effort to get Randy Pitchford on the podcast.
We'll get him one day.
Or my backstabbing to get exclusivity deals with Macaulay Culkin for the Richie Rich gritty reboot.
I'm sure those will all come to fruition.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, everything's going to come together. But if you don't want to listen to me on that podcast, but you do want more of me, you can find me on twitter.com. My @ is at Applebee's is okay. I just make more jokes there too, really.
Yeah,
Tim, you got any plugs?
I don't usually plug my social media, but it's an ongoing joke on the Backdash, and I guess I can carry it over here. That I will give a very cryptic description of my social media, and I'm thinking for here, each week, maybe I'll give one letter of my Twitter tag.
Out of
this
order,
week's
though.
letter is I.
Okay, I.
Yeah, so write down your Sonic Says letter. And I watched Sonic for a whole week, and I wrote down what he said on a piece of paper, and I sent it in.
All right. Well, yeah, that's super cryptic. Do you got any other plugs? I know that Q kind of took the Backdash plug away from you.
No, I don't really plug anything else. I don't have anything else going for me in life.
Well, the only really, since I only do this right now, the only thing I really can plug is my Instagram. It's at John Mergenthaler. I know that's super fucking basic, but that's JohnMergenthaler. That is on Instagram. I try to post some good stuff. I don't know. It's mostly like fitness related things because that's one of my big passions besides this nerdy stuff. So if you don't like it, I get it, but you can still throw a follow. And
give you a discount code for Tummy Tea.
What'd you say?
But you'll give them a discount code for Tummy Tea, and it'll be all right.
Well, you will go see that. I do try to act like I'm a booty influencer sometimes, so because I got that fat booty. But the other thing that I do want to bring up real quick is that I am gonna probably try to maybe start an Instagram for this, just because we can post little pictures every week of goofy stuff we find in our searches for our topics. I thought that might be something kind of fun to do for myself, at least. I can run it, or the guys can, whatever. And then we also we have a Gmail right now at rewind and reload podcast at gmail.com. So once we get a bunch of listeners, maybe one day you guys can write in and tell us topics you guys want to do, because we're probably going to run out of topics, or we're just going to talk about Minecraft in
every week.
Months.
We'll just talk about
in another
Minecraft.
couple months. Yeah.
Just call it the Minecast.
Oh.
And we'll do it.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
We'll do it every month when the new patch comes out.
There you go. You know,
Keep you
Tim, you're
informed.
keeping this podcast alive, and it has not even been born yet. Jeez.
I know.
Thank you. But, yeah, I think that's all we got today. We're hoping to record and try to probably put stuff out. I think we're thinking about Fridays or Saturdays. I don't know what you guys think. We can talk about that later, I guess, not in front of all these people. Wink, wink. But we are going to try to record next on the Spidey MCU controversy. I think we're going to just kind of touch on the cinematic Spider-Man essence, probably from Tobey Maguire to Andrew Garfield to now Tom Holland, and just kind of the shit show that they're running him, that they're running this character through, even just recently, as many people know. So yeah, but like I said, this was Rewind and Reload, so I have nothing else to say. I don't know about you guys.
In the words of Chester Cheeto, keep it cheesy.
Love it. Any sign-off words for you, Tim?
No.
That's
it's not easy being cheesy.
Cheese you later. All right. That's all I got. Bye, guys.